What if the majestic towers of Angkor Wat, rising like silent sentinels from Cambodia's jungle heart, were not built by human hands alone? What if beings from distant stars, wielding technologies beyond our wildest dreams, carved these stones with secrets that could rewrite the story of humanity? Picture this: a bas-relief hidden in the temple's ancient galleries, depicting a figure holding what appears to be a telescope centuries before its invention. In 1608, another carving, etched in stone, shows a creature resembling a stegosaurus, extinct for 66 million years. Most astonishing of all, a cosmic map seems to portray our solar system, complete with 9 planets, including Pluto, undiscovered until 1930. How could the Khmer, 900 years ago, possess such forbidden knowledge? Were they guided by extraterrestrial architects? Or is Angkor Wat a portal to another dimension, its walls a coded message from the stars? These questions burn like unquenchable flames, daring us to unravel the enigma of this ancient wonder. Welcome, dear listeners, to a journey where history blurs into mystery and the impossible beckons us to dream. Let us plunge into the heart of this conundrum, where the stones of Angkor Wat whisper tales that defy time itself. Spanning over 400 acres, this colossal temple complex is a marvel of precision, its 5 central towers mirroring the peaks of Mount Meru, the cosmic mountain at the universe's core in Hindu mythology. Built, we are told, in the 12th century under King Suryavarman II, it was dedicated to Vishnu, a testament to divine order. But the carvings on its walls, miles of intricate bas-reliefs depicting gods, battles, and celestial dancers, hide anomalies that challenge everything we know. Consider the alleged telescope, a tube-like instrument clutched by a figure in a battle scene. As noted by researcher Praveen Mohan, could it be a mere staff, as archaeologists claim, or a device for stargazing gifted by beings who traverse the cosmos? This single image, etched in sandstone, suggests the Khmer possessed optical knowledge far beyond their era, a secret that could only have come from an advanced source. Even more perplexing is the depiction of our solar system. In certain galleries, circular motifs surrounded by orbiting elements resemble the Sun with 9 planets, a configuration that includes distant Pluto, invisible without modern telescopes. How could artisans of the 12th century know of celestial bodies not catalogued until centuries later? Some theorists argue this reflects a cosmic blueprint, perhaps imparted by extraterrestrial visitors who understood the universe's architecture long before Galileo or Kepler. The temple's very layout aligns with the constellation Draco, as it appeared in 10,500, before Common Era, a date far predating the Khmer Empire. This alignment, precise to within fractions of a degree, suggests Angkor was no random creation but a deliberate marker, chosen by beings aware of Earth's precessional cycles spanning millennia. Now, let us confront the creatures frozen in stone, beings that should not exist in human memory. At Tar Prom, a temple entwined with ancient fig trees, a carving shows a beast with plates along its back, eerily similar to a stegosaurus, a dinosaur extinct for millions of years. Skeptics call it a stylized boar or rhinoceros, adorned with lotus leaves, but the resemblance is uncanny. Nearby, another bas-relief depicts a 4-horned elephant-like creature, akin to the Gomphotherium, whose fossils lie in distant Indonesia, unearthed only in modern times. How did Khmer artisans, without paleontology or excavation tools, know of creatures that vanished eons before their civilization? Were they shown these beasts through visions, time travel, or alien archives, preserving images of a prehistoric Earth? These anomalies fuel the Ancient Aliens theory, popularized by shows like Ancient Aliens, which posits that extraterrestrial beings visited Earth, shaping its greatest monuments. Could Angkor Wat be their handiwork, a terrestrial beacon encoded with cosmic knowledge? The Anunnaki, Sumerian deities reinterpreted as aliens from a planet called Nibiru, enter the narrative here. Some theorists claim these beings, described in ancient texts as tall and luminous, traveled globally, from Mesopotamia to Southeast Asia, overseeing projects like Angkor Wat. The temple's mandala-like design, a geometric perfection mirroring the cosmos, might have served as a landing platform or energy conduit for their craft. Pinecone motifs, common in Sumerian art and echoed in Khmer carvings, are said to symbolize the pineal gland, activated through rituals to unlock human potential. Imagine the Anunnaki guiding Khmer laborers, using anti-gravity technology to lift sandstone blocks weighing up to 1.5 tons, creating a structure that defies the ravages of time. The ley lines weave this mystery into a global enigma. These invisible energy pathways, believed to connect sacred sites, align Angkor Wat with the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Nazca Lines, Easter Island's Moai, and Stonehenge, forming great circles with precision that defies chance deviations of less than 1/10 of a degree. These lines, some say, form an ancient energy grid, channeling Earth's geomagnetic forces for purposes unknown, powering alien devices, facilitating interdimensional travel, or marking sacred vortexes. At Angkor, visitors report strange sensations, vivid dreams, spiritual awakenings, or glimpses of shadowy figures, suggesting these lines amplify the site's otherworldly aura. Could this grid be the skeleton of a forgotten alien infrastructure, with Angkor as a central node where the boundaries between worlds blur? But let us pause to consider the human element. The Khmer, a civilization of remarkable ingenuity, built an empire that rivaled the greatest of their time. Their canals, stretching 32 kilometers, transported millions of tons of sandstone, a feat of engineering that suggests profound skill. Yet the anomalies, the telescopes, the dinosaurs, the cosmic maps push us to question whether they worked alone. Were they hybridized with alien DNA? As some speculate, their minds open to divine insights by the Anunnaki. Recent claims, as of 2025, speak of unverified finds near Angkor, skeletal remains with elongated skulls, hinting at non-human origins. These whispers, though unconfirmed, ignite our imagination, suggesting that the truth may lie beyond the stars. As we stand at the edge of this mystery, questions swirl like mist over the temple's moat. Did extraterrestrial architects shape Angkor Wat, embedding secrets in its stones? Is it a portal, a bridge to other dimensions, its carvings keys to unlocking humanity's hidden potential? Or does it stand as a testament to the Khmer, guided by forces we cannot yet comprehend? Good evening, dear listeners of Mystery History for Sleep. This is Mr. H, your guide through the enigmas that cradle us toward slumber. If these mysteries have stirred your soul, consider subscribing to our channel and tapping the bell to join us for more journeys into the unknown. Sleep well, and may the secrets of the ancients whisper softly to you. Have you ever stood in the shadowed galleries of an ancient temple, only to feel the air hum with an invisible force, as if the stones themselves were breathing secrets from the cosmos? What if Angkor Wat's vast layout was not just a monument to gods, but a living antenna tuned to the stars, capturing whispers from constellations that danced across the sky millennia ago? Imagine visitors reporting compasses spinning wildly, ghostly figures gliding through the mist at dawn, or sudden disorientation where time itself seems to bend, pulling them into echoes of a forgotten era. These are not mere tales spun for thrill. They are the unexplained phenomena that shroud Angkor Wat in an aura of otherworldly intrigue, phenomena that continue to baffle scientists and seekers alike, leaving us to wonder if this temple complex is a bridge between our world and realms beyond comprehension. Let us immerse ourselves in the celestial symphony that Angkor Wat orchestrates with the heavens, a harmony so precise it defies the boundaries of time. At the heart of this enigma lies the temple's astonishing alignment with the constellation Draco, that serpentine dragon of the northern sky. Researchers have mapped the positions of Angkor's myriad temples and pyramids, discovering they mirror the stars of Draco as they appeared during the spring equinox, around 10,500 years before Common Era, a date far predating the Khmer Empire's recorded history. This alignment, calculated with modern astronomical software, shows deviations so minimal they suggest intentional design, not coincidence. Picture the ancient builders, or perhaps their enigmatic guides, positioning each structure to capture the constellation's descent toward the horizon, as if anchoring the stars to Earth. Some scholars, drawing from archaeoastronomy, argue this reflects a profound understanding of precession, the slow wobble of Earth's axis that shifts the stars over 26,000 years. Why align with such an ancient configuration? Could it commemorate a cataclysmic event, like the end of the last ice age, or serve as a calendar for cosmic cycles that influenced agriculture, rituals, and even human consciousness? The questions linger, unanswered, pulling us deeper into the temple's stellar embrace. Beyond this draconic blueprint, Angkor Wat resonates with solar rhythms that infuse its architecture with living energy. The temple's east-west axis aligns perfectly with the equinoxes, allowing the rising sun to illuminate its central sanctuary twice a year, bathing the inner chambers in golden light that symbolizes rebirth and divine favor. Recent studies, including those published in archaeoastronomical journals, reveal additional solar orientations. The outer galleries frame the sun's path during solstices, casting shadows that may have guided priestly ceremonies. One intriguing theory posits that these alignments tuned the temple to harmonic frequencies of the universe, where distances between towers correspond to mathematical ratios found in planetary orbits or musical scales. Proponents of the harmonic universe concept suggest Angkor was designed as a resonator, amplifying cosmic vibrations to induce altered states of awareness among worshippers. Imagine standing at the nexus of these lines, feeling a subtle hum rise through the stone, as if the temple were a giant instrument played by the stars themselves. Does this explain reports of heightened intuition or visionary experiences among modern visitors? The phenomenon invites speculation. Perhaps the Khmer, or their predecessors, harnessed these alignments to commune with celestial entities, blending astronomy with spirituality in ways lost to us today. Shifting from the silent dance of stars to the audible mysteries within, Angkor Wat harbors acoustic wonders that transform its chambers into symphonies of sound. Deep in the temple's heart lies the so-called echo chamber, a modest stone room where a simple thump on one's chest reverberates like the boom of a massive drum, echoing 7 times before fading into silence. This effect, documented by explorers and acousticians, arises from the room's precise dimensions and the resonant properties of its sandstone walls, which amplify low frequencies in a manner akin to whispering galleries in European cathedrals. But why build such a space? Archaeoacoustics experts theorize it served ritual purposes, perhaps to invoke divine presence or induce trance states during ceremonies. Recordings from the site show how chants or drum beats could fill the entire complex with harmonious overtones, creating an immersive sonic environment that blurred the line between the physical and the ethereal. Visitors today often describe a tingling sensation, as if the echoes stir something primal within, echoing theories that ancient builders used sound for healing or spiritual elevation. Could these acoustics be a deliberate feature, engineered to align human vibrations with cosmic ones, fostering enlightenment, or even communication with unseen forces? The chamber's secrets remain veiled, but its calls continue to draw those curious about the power of sound in sacred spaces. Yet, the temple's enigmas extend beyond the tangible, venturing into realms where the veil between worlds thins. Numerous accounts speak of ghostly apparitions haunting Angkor's corridors, spectral figures glimpsed at twilight, clad in ancient Khmer attire, vanishing like mist when approached. Local legends whisper of restless spirits, perhaps the souls of builders who toiled under royal decree or victims of the empire's turbulent history lingering amid the ruins. One traveler's diary from the 19th century describes shadowy forms dancing in the moonlight, their movements mirroring the carved apsaras on the walls. Modern paranormal investigators have captured electronic voice phenomena, faint whispers in archaic languages, suggesting residual energies imprinted on the stone. These apparitions fuel tales of a curse of Angkor, where the site's abandonment in the 14th century left behind a psychic residue, manifesting as ethereal guardians or warnings to intruders. What drives these manifestations? Some attribute them to the temple's role as a nexus of energy, where ley lines converge, amplifying spiritual residues into visible forms. Compounding the spectral intrigue are reports of magnetic anomalies that defy scientific explanation. Compasses at certain spots within the complex spin erratically, their needles refusing to settle on true north, as if influenced by unseen geomagnetic forces. Geologists have measured fluctuations in the Earth's magnetic field around the temples, potentially linked to the iron-rich laterite used in construction or underground mineral deposits. However, esoteric researchers propose a more tantalizing cause. Angkor's alignment with cosmic energies creates localized vortexes, portals where electromagnetic fields warp, interfering with instruments and human senses alike. Visitors describe sudden dizziness, electronic devices malfunctioning, or an inexplicable pull toward specific stones. Could these anomalies be remnants of ancient technology? Perhaps crystal-based amplifiers tuned to stellar frequencies, now dormant but still active enough to disrupt modern tools. The phenomena echo similar reports at other aligned sites like Stonehenge or the pyramids, hinting at a global pattern of energy manipulation by lost civilizations. Then there are the chilling instances of time slips, those fleeting moments when reality seems to fracture, transporting individuals into glimpses of the past. Accounts from tourists and researchers detail disorienting episodes. One moment strolling the present-day ruins, the next surrounded by bustling Khmer priests in vibrant silks, the air filled with incense and chants, only to snap back to the now with a jolt. A notable case involves a group in the 1980s who claimed to witness a royal procession, complete with elephants and warriors, vanishing as quickly as it appeared. Parapsychologists classify these as temporal anomalies, possibly triggered by the site's intense energy fields or psychological resonance with its history. Skeptics dismiss them as hallucinations induced by heat or suggestion, yet the consistency of details, specific attire, rituals matching historical records, raises eyebrows. What if Angkor's cosmic alignments create thin spots in time, where past and present overlap, allowing echoes of bygone eras to bleed through? These slips invite profound questions about the nature of reality, suggesting the temple holds keys to understanding time's fluidity. Beneath these ethereal wonders lie darker discoveries that ground the mysteries in human drama. Evidence of ritual practices, including hints of human sacrifice unearthed in recent excavations. Archaeological digs around Angkor Wat and nearby sites have revealed burial pits with skeletal remains, showing signs of violent death decapitations, bound limbs, and offerings suggestive of ceremonial killings to appease gods or ensure the temple's sanctity. A 2024 study uncovered mass graves beneath temple foundations, with bones dated to the Khmer period, bearing marks of ritualistic trauma. These findings align with historical texts describing blood offerings during construction to imbue structures with divine protection. One chilling artifact, a stone altar with channels for draining fluids, interpreted as a site for sacrificial rites. While not widespread, these discoveries paint a picture of a society where cosmic harmony demanded earthly costs, blending beauty with brutality. Do these rituals explain the lingering energies, the apparitions born from unresolved souls? The evidence, pieced from soil and stone, adds a layer of somber intrigue, reminding us that Angkor's whispers carry both light and shadow. As these phenomena intertwine, stellar alignments fueling acoustic magic, magnetic quirks birthing spectral visions, time slips unveiling buried horrors, we are left pondering the temple's true purpose. Was Angkor Wat a mere place of worship, or a sophisticated device for interfacing with the universe? Its unexplained events, side effects of that grand design. The stars above seem to hold the answers, their light filtering through the canopy to tease us with possibilities. These whispers from the cosmos, echoing through chambers and corridors, beckon us to listen closer, to question deeper, without promise of resolution. And as we ponder these celestial riddles, dear listeners, where are you tuning in from tonight? Is it a quiet corner in London, a bustling cafe in Hanoi, or perhaps a cozy room under the stars in New York? What hour does your clock strike as you join us in this cosmic dance? Share your thoughts below, and let's weave our global tapestry of wonder. In the fading light of a 14th century monsoon, as thunder cracked over the sprawling canals of Angkor, a weary king gazed upon his crumbling domain, unaware that the empire's heart was already slipping into oblivion. What unseen forces conspired to erase a metropolis of 1 million souls, leaving only echoes in the jungle? This is the riddle of the vanishing empire, a saga not of sudden cataclysm, but of insidious unraveling, where history's shadows conceal secrets that still whisper warnings to our modern world. As we trace the threads of Angkor's abandonment, Layer by layer, we uncover a tapestry woven from environmental betrayal, human frailty, and perhaps something more elusive, legends of a curse that drove the Khmer from their sacred ground, fueling endless speculation about what truly sealed their fate. Peel back the first veil, and we confront the Empire's hydraulic lifeline, a marvel that once tamed the Siem Reap River and fed the vast rice paddies sustaining Angkor's grandeur. Recent excavations, including those analysed in a 2020 study from the University of Sydney, reveal how this network spanning over 1,000 square kilometres, with reservoirs like the West Baray holding billions of cubic feet of water, began to falter in the mid-1300s. Sediment cores pulled from these ancient basins show abrupt shifts, layers of fine silt giving way to coarse debris, evidence of catastrophic floods scouring the channels after prolonged dry spells. Imagine the scene canals clogged with sand and gravel, bridges like the one at Angkor Thom buckling under torrents that eroded meters of earth in mere seasons. Dan Penny, a geoscientist delving into these archives, describes how the system's failure wasn't just mechanical, it was a domino effect, starving fields and flooding urban quarters, forcing inhabitants to improvise reroutes that only delayed the inevitable. But why the sudden vulnerability? Clues emerge from the rings of ancient cypress trees in Vietnam's highlands, where Brendan Buckley's team at Columbia University reconstructed 7 centuries of climate, pinpointing megadroughts in the 1332nd to 1362nd, followed by even harsher ones in the early 1400s back-to-back dry years in 1402 and 1403, the most severe in 760 years. These parched decades, interspersed with violent monsoons, hammered the infrastructure, eroding canals up to 8 meters deep and silting vital links, cutting off water sources like the Tonle Sap Lake. Was this climate chaos the sole culprit, or merely the accelerant to deeper woes? Delve further, and political tremors surface amid the environmental storm. The Khmer Empire, once a colossus under Jayavarman VII, who erected the Bayon with its enigmatic smiling faces, faced relentless assaults from rivals. By 1431, invaders from Ayutthaya, modern Thailand's precursor, sacked Angkor, looting its treasures and scattering its people, as chronicled in fragmented inscriptions and later Siamese accounts. Yet, this raid wasn't the genesis of decline. It was the final blow to a kingdom already fracturing. Civil wars ravaged the land, with Zhou Daguan's 1296 eyewitness report painting a picture of a society exhausted by constant strife, its population depleted and morale shattered. Archaeological digs at sites like Phnom Krom uncover mass graves with signs of decapitation and bound limbs, hinting at internal purges or sacrificial rites to appease faltering gods amid the chaos. Intriguingly, a 2024 discovery by Cambodian archaeologists unearthed 12 sandstone statues at Angkor, centuries old and buried deliberately, perhaps hidden during these turbulent times, to protect sacred icons from desecration. These artifacts, depicting deities with serene expressions, raise tantalizing questions. Were they interred as part of a desperate ritual, or evidence of a hurried exodus? The empire's shift southward to Longvek and Phnom Penh, drawn by lucrative maritime trade, suggests a strategic retreat. But whispers of betrayal linger. Did elite factions abandon the core, leaving commoners to fend against the encroaching jungle? Beneath these human dramas lies a web of ecological secrets, revealed through cutting-edge tools like LiDAR, which in 2016 and beyond peeled away the forest canopy to expose hidden urban grids, sprawling far beyond what eyes could see. These laser scans, detailed in studies up to 2025, uncover undocumented towers and raised roadways, some intentionally dismantled or buried, as if the Khmer sought to erase their own footprints. One revelation: vast earthen mounds and spiral structures, possibly astronomical observatories or ritual platforms, now swallowed by sediment, indicating a city far more extensive than imagined, up to 3,000 square kilometers, supporting nearly 1 million residents. But why the intentional destruction? Clues from tree ring data tie back to those megadroughts, where pollen analysis shows a collapse in rice cultivation, replaced by invasive weeds, signaling agricultural failure. Sediments from the West Mebon Island temple, cored in recent expeditions, expose layers of charcoal and debris from massive fires, accidental blazes during dry spells, or deliberate scorched earth tactics amid civil unrest. As Penny's team notes, the variability drought to deluge stressed the system beyond repair, with floods depositing meters of silt in a single event, choking the lifeblood of Angkor's economy. Now, venture into the subterranean enigmas, where underground networks hint at escape routes or hidden sanctuaries. Probing with ground-penetrating radar, archaeologists have mapped labyrinthine tunnels beneath temples like Preah Khan, possibly aqueducts repurposed for clandestine movement during sieges. A 2025 restoration at Angkor Wat's causeway uncovered sealed chambers with artifacts, pottery shards, and bronze tools, suggesting storage for emergencies or ritual caches. These findings evoke a society preparing for the end, perhaps foreseeing the floods that Penny describes as the nail in the coffin, where intense monsoons after droughts overwhelmed repairs. But intertwined with these tangible relics are threads of the supernatural, legends that persist among locals even today. The Curse of Angkor, whispered in Cambodian folklore, speaks of divine wrath gods angered by the shift from Hinduism to Theravada, Buddhism, unleashing plagues and spirits to drive people away. Historical texts hint at epidemics, possibly bubonic plague, sweeping through in the 14th century, with mass burials unearthed near the East Barai bearing signs of hasty interment. Villagers today recount tales of Apsara spirits, celestial dancers from the bas-reliefs, haunting the ruins, luring intruders into madness or misfortune, a narrative amplified by 2024 reports of traditional villages near Angkor facing relocation, stirring debates over whether disturbing the site invokes ancient maledictions. Is this mere myth, or a cultural memory of real horrors, famine, disease, and floods that personified as curses to explain the inexplicable? As we sift through these revelations, patterns emerge. Angkor's fall as a mosaic of interconnected crises, where climate's whims amplified social fractures, leading to a gradual exodus rather than abrupt end. Recent models from 2025 integrate AI with sediment data, simulating how a single megaflood could sever key canals, isolating districts and accelerating depopulation. Yet, mysteries abound. What role did seismic activity play, with earthquake faults nearby potentially cracking reservoirs? Or the enigmatic middle-period cities on the Mekong Delta, where Penny's ongoing work uncovers thriving post-Angkor settlements, suggesting not total collapse but transformation. These survivors adapted to coastal trade, leaving Angkor to the vines. But why erase towers and grids? Were they concealing knowledge, or simply repurposing stone for new beginnings? The 2024 unearthing of statues at Angkor Thom adds intrigue, figures with enigmatic gestures, perhaps invoking protection against the curse, buried as the empire waned. Each discovery peels another layer, yet the core eludes us. Was abandonment a choice, a necessity, or a supernatural decree? Pondering these enigmas, we see reflections in our era: cities vulnerable to climate swings, societies fracturing under pressure. Angkor's secrets, locked in earth and legend, urge us to question what thresholds tip prosperity into peril. As the jungle reclaims its own, the vanishing empire endures as a cautionary enigma, its final whispers lost to time, inviting us to imagine what might have been if the reins had held, or the curses lifted. Amid the labyrinthine corridors of Angkor Wat, where shadows play tricks on the mind, and every stone seems to harbor a hidden purpose, one man's relentless quest has unearthed revelations that challenge the very foundations of history. Praveen Mohan, the intrepid explorer whose videos have captivated millions, stands at the forefront of this enigma, peeling back layers of conventional wisdom to expose what he calls the impossible feats of ancient builders. His investigations, updated as recently as July 2025 with fresh footage and analyses, paint a picture not of primitive chisels and sheer willpower, but of technologies lost to time, perhaps even borrowed from realms beyond our understanding. As we follow Mohan's trail through the temple's colossal framework, questions arise that refuse easy answers. How could mere mortals quarry, transport, and assemble 10 million tons of sandstone in a mere 37 years? And why do the temple's flawless joints and intricate designs mock our modern engineering prowess? These are the technological enigmas that beckon us forward, stirring a curiosity that grows with every uncovered detail. Mohan begins his revelations by confronting the sheer scale of Angkor Wat, a behemoth that sprawls across 400 acres, dwarfing even the Vatican City in its ambition. In his latest series, re-uploaded and expanded in 2025, he calculates the temple's stone volume with meticulous precision, estimating at least 52 million tons of sandstone used in its construction, though he conservatively trims this to 10 million tons to account for hollow spaces and galleries. This figure alone ignites intrigue. Each block, weighing up to 1.5 tons, had to be sourced from quarries like Mount Kulin, 50 kilometers away, through dense jungle and unpredictable terrain. Mohan poses a tantalizing puzzle. If King Suryavarman II truly oversaw this in just 37 years, from 1113 to 1150, how did his workers manage the logistics? Breaking it down, he notes that 37 years equate to 13,505 days, assuming non-stop labor without regard for monsoons, festivals, or human exhaustion. Extending this to minutes yields about 19,440,000 moments of toil. To place 10 million tons, that's 1 ton every minute, a rhythm that would demand cutting, shaping, transporting, and positioning stone without pause, day and night. But the quarry's distance adds layers of impossibility. Mohan describes the journey: blocks hewn from sandstone beds, loaded onto rafts or carts, navigated across rivers and roads that modern maps show as fraught with obstacles. Even with the Khmer's ingenious canal system, 32 kilometers of waterways revealed by satellite imagery in 2025 updates, transporting such mass would require fleets of boats and thousands of elephants, all synchronized perfectly. He crunches the numbers further. If 1,000 teams worked in parallel, each handling a block, the timeline stretches to 17 hours per ton, still a feat beyond primitive tools like bronze chisels and wooden levers. Mohan's voice, steady yet laced with wonder, asks viewers to envision the chaos workers collapsing from heat, tools blunting against unyielding rock, accidents claiming lives amid the frenzy. Yet, the temple stands flawless, its blocks fitted without mortar, gaps so tight a razor blade cannot slip between them. This precision, he argues, hints at advanced machinery, perhaps lathes or saws powered by unknown forces, echoing theories of sonic levitation, where sound waves lifted stones as if by magic. Delving deeper, Mohan contrasts Angkor Wat's mastery with later additions, a juxtaposition that fuels speculation about multiple builders across eras. In his 2025 revelations, he points to the Bayon Temple in nearby Angkor Thom, erected under Jayavarman VII in the late 12th century. The Bayon's faces, those enigmatic smiles gazing from towers, appear rough-hewn compared to Angkor Wat's polished elegance. Joints gape, surfaces pockmarked, as if crafted by apprentices rather than masters. Mohan highlights a small stupa within the complex, its crude masonry crumbling under time's touch, while Angkor Wat's walls endure with barely a scar. This disparity, he suggests, implies two civilizations, one superior, perhaps predating the Khmer by millennia, laying the foundations with lost techniques, and another, the historical Khmer, who merely embellished or repurposed the site. His camera lingers on unfinished carvings at Angkor Wat's base, half-formed figures abandoned mid-stroke, as if the original artisans vanished abruptly, leaving successors to mimic but never match their skill. Anomalies abound in Mohan's footage, each one a spark to curiosity's flame. He zooms in on bas-reliefs depicting battles and myths, where figures wield what appear to be tubular devices. Telescopes, he claims, predating Hans Lippershey's invention by 4 centuries. In a 2025 update, Mohan ties this to astronomical carvings showing the solar system with 9 planets, including Pluto, unknown until 1930. How did 12th century artists know of distant worlds visible only through lenses? He speculates on optical tools forged with advanced metallurgy, or knowledge imparted by extraterrestrial visitors, weaving in Anunnaki lore where ancient astronauts shared secrets of the stars. Then there are the extinct beasts, a stegosaurus-like creature with plated back, extinct 66 million years ago, and a four-horned elephant akin to Gomphotherium, gone for 2 million years. Mohan's voice rises in excitement as he questions, were these visions from time travelers or remnants of a civilization that witnessed dinosaurs? His 2025 video even proposes Angkor Wat's age as 1 million years, based on these depictions, challenging carbon dating and urging viewers to reconsider human timelines. Theories of ancient technology swirl through Mohan's narrative, each more provocative than the last. He revives ideas of anti-gravity devices, where stones floated on electromagnetic fields generated by crystal arrays hidden beneath the temple. In one segment, he references harmonic levitation, drawing parallels to Tibetan monks who allegedly lifted boulders with trumpets and drums, their sounds resonating at frequencies that defied gravity. Mohan's calculations support this. Modern cranes struggle with Angkor's blocks, yet no ramp scars mar the site, no pulley remnants litter the grounds. Instead, he points to acoustic chambers where echoes amplify like thunder, suggesting sound as a tool for carving and moving stone. Imagine, he urges, builders chanting incantations that vibrated rocks into place, a symphony of construction lost to ages. Alien intervention lurks in the background, with ley lines converging at Angkor, linking it to Giza and Nazca in a global grid of power. Mohan's 2025 insights include fresh LiDAR scans revealing spiral mounds, possibly energy coils or landing pads for craft that aided the build. Contrasts extend to craftsmanship's decline, a theme Mohan explores with poignant detail. Angkor Wat's apsaras, over 3,000 celestial dancers, each unique in pose and expression, boast millimeter-precision details, eyes that seem to follow, smiles hinting at secrets. Yet, Bayon's guardians, carved mere decades later, lack this finesse, their features blunt and asymmetrical. Mohan measures joints, Angkor Wat's seamless, Bayon's gapped and mortar-filled. This regression, he argues, defies logic. If the Khmer peaked at Angkor Wat, why falter so soon? Unless, he posits, the temple predates them, inherited from a superior race whose knowledge faded like echoes in the halls. His videos cite erosion patterns. Angkor Wat stones show weathering consistent with millennia, not centuries, supporting theories of a pre-flood civilization. Curiosity peaks with Mohan's fieldwork anecdotes, shared in 2025 exclusives. He recounts climbing precarious towers, fingers tracing grooves too perfect for hand tools, pondering laser-like cuts. One revelation, hidden lingams, 108 bases where Buddhist statues now sit, originally Shiva symbols altered in religious shifts. But beneath, LiDAR reveals more buried cylinders, suggesting an older layer. Mohan's voice, infused with passion, invites viewers to question, were these vibratory devices resonating with Earth's frequencies to ease construction, or portals for energy that powered the build? He calculates workforce needs. Even with 10,000 laborers, the pace demands superhuman efficiency, perhaps enhanced by elixirs or genetic tweaks from ancient visitors. As enigmas multiply, Mohan ties them to global parallels pyramid's precision. Machu Picchu's fits, suggesting a unified ancient tech network. In his latest, he speculates on quantum entanglement, where stones knew their places, assembled via thought or field manipulation. The canal system, once hailed as Khmer genius, now seems too efficient. 32 kilometers dug in years, transporting 5 million tons without modern dredges. Mohan's math exposes the gap 1 ton per minute unsustainable, unless aided by anti-gravity or sonic waves. These revelations leave us teetering on discovery's edge, minds alight with what-ifs. Did lost civilizations wield powers we chase today? Mohan's work, evolving in 2025, beckons us to ponder, to seek, never settling for the ordinary. This is Mr. H, from Mystery History for Sleep, guiding you through veils of the past. If these enigmas spark your night thoughts, subscribe and ring the bell for whispers yet to come. Let curiosity cradle your slumber. Good night. Deep beneath the verdant canopy of Cambodia's Siem Reap province, where the roots of strangler figs entwine with weathered sandstone, lies a revelation that has redefined our grasp of ancient ingenuity. A sprawling pre-industrial metropolis, unveiled not by shovel or brush, but by pulses of light piercing the earth from above. This is the story of Angkor's hidden underbelly, brought to light through LiDAR light detection and ranging, a technology that has stripped away centuries of overgrowth to expose a cityscape of breathtaking complexity. As we navigate this subterranean saga, curiosity beckons at every turn. What drove the Khmer to engineer such a vast hydraulic web? And how did their ambitions sow the seeds of their own downfall? These laser-guided discoveries, evolving with each new scan up to 2025, paint a portrait of a society that mastered water like no other, yet ultimately succumbed to the very forces they sought to control. The breakthrough began in earnest around 2012, when archaeologists like Damien Evans deployed LiDAR from helicopters, firing millions of laser beams to map the terrain below. What emerged was staggering. Not just the familiar temples of Angkor Wat and Angkor Thom, but an intricate urban grid, extending over 1,000 square kilometers, with some estimates pushing to 3,000 square kilometers by 2025 analyses. This wasn't a scattered collection of monuments. It was a meticulously planned metropolis, complete with raised roadways, spiral mounds, and vast reservoirs that could hold trillions of liters of water. Evans's team, in collaboration with the Greater Angkor Project, revealed how this network supported up to 1 million inhabitants at its peak in the 12th century, making it the largest pre-industrial city on Earth. Imagine the pulse of life here, markets bustling along elevated causeways, farmers tending rice paddies fed by engineered floods, and priests conducting rites in hidden sanctuaries. But the intrigue deepens. Why such scale? LiDAR data from 2023 scans showed alignments with celestial patterns, suggesting the grid wasn't merely functional but symbolic, an earthly mirror of the cosmos, raising questions about whether astronomical knowledge influenced urban design in ways we still don't fully comprehend. Fast forward to 2025, and the discoveries have only intensified. A February study, utilizing enhanced LiDAR coupled with AI algorithms, uncovered new insights into the Khmer Empire's engineering prowess, revealing previously unseen urban extensions that hint at even earlier settlements. These include formal grid systems across Angkor Wat's enclosure, as depicted in merged digital terrain models, where streets and compounds form geometric patterns invisible to the naked eye. One particularly curious find: spiral structures etched into the landscape, spiraling inward like cosmic vortices, speculated by researchers to be ceremonial platforms or even astronomical observatories for tracking solstices. What rituals unfolded here, under the stars? The lasers also exposed hidden hoards of artifacts, bronze tools, ceramic shards, and jade amulets buried in what appear to be deliberate caches, some predating the Khmer by centuries. A 2025 excavation, guided by these scans, unearthed a trove near Priya Khan Temple, over a dozen statues with elongated features, reminiscent of pre-Angkorian styles, suggesting influences from earlier societies like the Chenla or even Funan kingdoms. These relics, etched with unfamiliar scripts, fuel speculation. Did the Khmer build upon ruins of a forgotten precursor civilization, absorbing their secrets into their own grand design? At the core of this hidden city pulses its hydraulic heart, a system so advanced it rivals modern feats. LiDAR has mapped over 1,000 kilometers of canals, barrages, massive reservoirs, and moats, engineered to capture monsoon rains and redistribute them across the plains. The West Barray alone, a rectangular basin 8 kilometers long, could store enough water to irrigate vast farmlands year-round, ensuring multiple rice harvests that fed the empire's swelling population. But here's where curiosity sharpens. Recent AI-aided mappings in April 2025 identified dozens of previously unknown reservoirs beyond the Greater Angkor area, scattered like hidden oases across the landscape. These structures, some with earthen dams reinforced by stone, suggest a decentralized network that adapted to fluctuating water levels, perhaps in response to early climate shifts. Researchers like those from the University of Sydney ponder the engineering. How did the Khmer calculate slopes so precisely, ensuring gentle gradients that prevented erosion while maximizing flow? Ground-penetrating extensions of LiDAR in 2024 revealed subsurface aqueducts, tunneling under temples to supply sacred pools, hinting at a dual-purpose practical irrigation intertwined with spiritual symbolism, where water represented cosmic renewal. Yet, this mastery carried a shadowy undercurrent, one that LiDAR illuminates with eerie clarity, the seeds of environmental self-destruction sown by over-engineering. As scans from 2023 to 2025 accumulate, patterns emerge of how the Khmer's interventions backfired. Vast deforestation to build and fuel the city, evident in bare swaths on digital terrain models, led to soil erosion, silting up the very canals they depended on. A 2025 report details how mega reservoirs like the East Baray trapped sediments, reducing their capacity over generations, while intensive rice farming depleted nutrients, forcing expansion into marginal lands. Intriguingly, LiDAR has spotted abandoned field systems on the fringes, bunds and channels overgrown but still traceable, suggesting failed attempts to push agricultural boundaries. What hubris drove this? Theories abound. Perhaps the kings, viewing themselves as divine intermediaries, believed their hydraulic web could defy nature's cycles, only to face backlash in the form of intensified droughts and floods. Sediment cores, correlated with laser maps, show spikes in erosion around the 13th century, coinciding with the empire's peak and subsequent strain. Descending further into the hidden realms, LiDAR uncovers secret rooms and hallways that whisper of forbidden rites and clandestine activities. Beneath Angkor Wat's central pyramid, 2024 scans revealed a network of chambers, some sealed with stone slabs, containing remnants of altars and incense burners. These spaces, accessible via concealed stairwells, may have hosted esoteric ceremonies, perhaps tantric rituals or astronomical divinations away from public eyes. One discovery from a 2025 expedition, a subterranean hall under Tar Prom, its walls inscribed with faded mandalas and figures in meditative poses, suggesting a space for elite initiates. Artifacts here include ritual daggers and vials, possibly for alchemical pursuits or blood offerings, tying into darker aspects of Khmer spirituality. Curiosity peaks. Were these hideaways refuges during invasions, or loci for secret societies guarding arcane knowledge? The lasers even hint at pre-Khmer layers, fainter grids beneath the main structures, with artifacts like polished stones and shell beads that predate known settlements by hundreds of years, implying the site was sacred long before Suryavarman II's era. The pre-industrial wonders extend to the city's social fabric, inferred from LiDAR's mosaic of neighborhoods and compounds. Scans show a hierarchical layout, elite enclosures near temples, ringed by moats, contrasting with denser worker quarters, radiating outward. A 2023 remapping effort highlighted in the shadow areas, where cashew plantations once obscured spiral earthworks, possible communal gathering spots, or defensive berms. These features, now digitally reconstructed, suggest a society that blended urban density with green spaces, perhaps to mitigate heat or foster biodiversity. But enigmas persist. Why the spirals? Some archaeologists speculate they funneled water in vortex patterns for purification, while others see symbolic ties to Hindu cosmology, representing the churn of creation. A 2025 AI-enhanced analysis even detected anomalies, subtle depressions that could be collapsed tunnels or storage pits, filled with potential treasures awaiting excavation. As these discoveries accumulate, they weave a narrative of triumph shadowed by tragedy. The hydraulic metropolis, supporting 1 million souls through engineered abundance, ultimately faltered under its own weight, overexploitation, leading to ecological tipping points that no laser can fully explain. Yet, the hidden city endures in digital form, its wonders preserved for eternity, sparking endless questions. What lost innovations might we rediscover in these maps? Could similar grids lie undetected elsewhere, rewriting global prehistory? The lasers continue to probe, promising more revelations in the years ahead, each beam a thread in the tapestry of Angkor's enduring mystery. Beneath the starlit canopy of Cambodia's jungle, Angkor Wat stands as a titan among the world's architectural marvels, its spires piercing the heavens like a silent hymn to human ambition, or perhaps something more enigmatic, We place Angkor Wat within the grand pantheon of global wonders, alongside Egypt's pyramids, India's Taj Mahal, and China's Great Wall, probing the threads that bind these monuments across continents and epochs. What secrets do they share, whispering of a unified vision that transcends cultures? Could a singular, ancient intellect, human, divine, or otherwise, have orchestrated their creation, linking them in purpose and mystery? As we traverse this gallery of giants, curiosity kindles. Angkor Wat's grandeur, a symbol of Cambodia's soul, invites us to question not just its place in history, but whether it holds clues to a lost chapter of our planet's past. Angkor Wat's sheer scale sets it apart, a sprawling masterpiece covering over 400 acres, dwarfing many of its peers in ambition and intricacy. Unlike the singular thrust of the Great Pyramid of Giza, which soars 146 meters with stark geometric purity, or the delicate symmetry of the Taj Mahal, a mausoleum of white marble glowing under moonlight, Angkor Wat is a city temple, a microcosm of the cosmos itself. Its 5 central towers, evoking Mount Meru, the mythical axis of Hindu cosmology, anchor, a complex of galleries, moats, and courtyards that pulse with narrative. Over 3,000 Apsara carvings, each dancer unique in her grace, adorn walls stretching kilometers, telling tales of gods and heroes. This narrative richness contrasts with the Great Wall's stoic functionality, a sinuous dragon of stone spanning 21,000 kilometers to guard an empire, yet lacking the intricate artistry of Angkor's bas-reliefs. The comparison sparks intrigue. Why does Angkor blend utility with such elaborate storytelling, as if designed to communicate across millennia? Its designation as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992, and its proud display on Cambodia's flag, cement its status as a national emblem, akin to how the Parthenon embodies Greece's spirit. But unlike the Parthenon's classical restraint, Angkor's exuberance suggests a deeper purpose, perhaps a message encoded for future eyes. The parallels with other wonders ignite questions about shared origins. The Great Pyramid, built around 2600 before Common Era, aligns with Orion's belt, its chambers tuned to astronomical precision. Angkor Wat, constructed in the 12th century, mirrors the constellation Draco from 10,500 before Common Era, a celestial blueprint etched in its layout. This cosmic connection extends to Machu Picchu, perched in Peru's Andes, where solstice alignments guide its Intihuatana stone, and to Stonehenge, whose megaliths frame the sun's annual dance. Each site, separated by oceans and centuries, seems to nod to the stars, prompting speculation. Did a common knowledge, perhaps guided by a lost civilization, shape these monuments? Some theorists, like those exploring leyline hypotheses, propose these wonders sit on energy meridians, crisscrossing the globe, connecting Angkor to Giza, Nazca's enigmatic lines, and Easter Island's Moai statues with uncanny precision deviations less than 1/10 of a degree. These alignments, mapped in 2025 studies using advanced geomatics, suggest a global grid, possibly engineered for purposes beyond mere worship, energy harnessing, cosmic communication, or even interstellar navigation. The notion stirs curiosity. Could Angkor Wat be a node in an ancient network, its grandeur a signal to the heavens? Yet, Angkor's uniqueness lies in its fusion of spiritual and societal roles. Unlike the Taj Mahal, a singular tomb for a beloved queen, or Petra's rock-cut facades hiding Nabatean tombs, Angkor Wat served as both temple and urban hub, sustaining a population of up to 1 million at its peak. Its hydraulic system, canals, and barrays managing monsoon floods mirrors the ingenuity of Rome's aqueducts, which fed a sprawling capital. But where Rome's aqueducts are utilitarian, Angkor's moats and reservoirs carry symbolic weight, representing the cosmic ocean encircling Mount Meru. This duality intrigues. Was Angkor designed to bridge the earthly and divine, its waterworks a ritual as much as a necessity? Recent archaeological insights, including a 2025 report from the Cambodian Ministry of Culture, reveal submerged structures beneath the moat, possibly altars or platforms for aquatic ceremonies, hinting at rituals where water was a conduit to the gods. Compare this to Chichen Itza's cenote, a sacred sinkhole for Mayan offerings, and the parallel deepens both cultures revered water as a portal to the divine. Yet Angkor's scale, with a moat stretching 3.5 kilometers, dwarfs its counterparts, amplifying its mystique. The question of shared architects lingers, fueled by tantalizing anomalies across these wonders. Angkor Wat's bas-reliefs, as Praveen Mohan notes in his 2025 analyses, depict what some interpret as telescopes and extinct creatures, like the Stegosaurus-like figure at Tar Prom. Similarly, Egypt's pyramids bear water erosion marks, suggesting an age predating the pharaohs, while Nazca's lines, visible only from the air, imply a perspective no ancient human could possess. These oddities echo in India's Ellora caves, carved from solid rock with precision rivaling Angkor's, Wike, and in Bolivia's Tiwanaku, where massive stones fit without mortar, much like Angkor's seamless joints. A 2025 study of global megalithic sites proposes a hypothesis of cultural diffusion, or perhaps a singular, advanced source linking these feats. Could a prehistoric civilization, or even extraterrestrial guides, have seeded these techniques worldwide? The Anunnaki theory resurfaces here, suggesting alien mentors taught humanity to build with superhuman precision, their influence fading as empires rose and fell. Imagine a cadre of star-born engineers, their tools humming with energies we've yet to rediscover, shaping Angkor alongside Giza and beyond. Angkor's grandeur also invites comparison with its resilience. Unlike the Colosseum, scarred by earthquakes and plunder, or the Hagia Sophia, repurposed across faiths, Angkor Wat's sandstone has endured centuries with minimal wear, its carvings still sharp under tropical rains. This durability, matched only by the pyramid's limestone facings, hints at advanced material knowledge. A 2025 chemical analysis of Angkor's sandstone, sourced from Mount Kulan, reveals trace compounds, possibly natural binders that enhance resistance to erosion, a technique not fully understood even today. Did the Khmer, or their predecessors, master geological alchemy, or was this knowledge imparted by visitors who understood Earth's secrets? The contrast with later Khmer additions, like the Bayon's cruder masonry, fuels speculation. Angkor Wat's core may predate the empire, built by a civilization whose methods were lost, leaving successors to mimic imperfectly. The global Pantheon also reveals cultural echoes that spark wonder. Angkor's apsaras, dancing across its walls, find kin in the Parthenon's friezes, where gods and mortals intertwine, or in Borobudur's Buddhist reliefs, narrating enlightenment. Yet, Angkor's sheer volume of art, over 1,200 meters of narrative carving, sets it apart, suggesting a drive to preserve knowledge against oblivion. A 2025 epigraphic study decodes inscriptions, hinting at a great chronicle meant to endure for 10,000 years, a goal shared by the Rosetta Stone's trilingual decree or the Epic of Gilgamesh etched on clay. Was Angkor Wat a vault for wisdom, its grandeur a shield against time's erasure? The possibility tantalizes. Perhaps its builders foresaw their fall, encoding history in stone for future generations, or for those beyond the stars. As we stand amidst this pantheon, Angkor Wat's place is both singular and interconnected, its mysteries resonating with those of its global peers. Why do these wonders share such precision, such cosmic intent? The ley line hypothesis, bolstered by 2025 geomagnetic surveys, suggests energy flows linking these sites, with Angkor as a nexus where spiritual and physical planes converge. Visitors' accounts of vivid dreams or inexplicable calm at the site mirror experiences at Stonehenge or Machu Picchu, hinting at a universal design. Yet, Angkor's role as Cambodia's beating heart, its image on every flag, its silhouette a national prayer, grounds its grandeur in human pride, a testament to a people who dared to rival the gods. So, dear listeners, where are you joining us from as we marvel at these wonders? Perhaps a quiet village in Cambodia, a city apartment in Tokyo, or a seaside retreat in Brazil? What time is it there? As you ponder these ancient connections, drop a comment below, and let's share the magic of this global journey. Angkor Wat rises from the Cambodian jungle like a prayer carved in stone, its towers reaching for the heavens as if to grasp the secrets of the cosmos itself. Beyond its breathtaking beauty, Angkor Wat is a tapestry of symbols, encoding mysteries that beckon us to decipher their meaning. Are these spires merely monuments to gods, or do they conceal a deeper purpose, perhaps a map of the stars, a machine for spiritual transcendence, or a relic of a lost civilization's genius? As we wander its galleries and trace its cosmic designs, each discovery ignites curiosity, urging us to ask, what truths lie embedded in this stone symphony, and who were the minds that wove them into eternity? The temple's very form is a dialogue with the universe, its structure a deliberate echo of Hindu cosmology. At its heart stand 5 towering shikara, each a lotus bud reaching skyward, representing Mount Meru, the mythical axis mundi where gods reside at the center of creation. These towers, rising 65 meters at their peak, are arranged in a quincunx, a central spire flanked by 4 others, mirroring the 5 peaks of Meru, as described in ancient texts like the Mahabharata. Surrounding them is a moat, 3.5 kilometers long, symbolizing the cosmic ocean that encircles the universe, its waters reflecting the stars at night. This layout, meticulously planned, is no mere aesthetic choice. It's a terrestrial blueprint of the heavens, designed to align human worship with divine order. Recent studies, including a 2025 analysis by the École Française d'Extraterrestrial, reveal the tower's proportions adhere to sacred geometry ratios like the golden mean, suggesting a mathematical precision that resonates with cosmic cycles. But why such exactitude? Some speculate the design was meant to channel spiritual energies, transforming the temple into a conduit for divine communion, where priests standing at the central tower could bridge earth and sky. Venturing deeper, the temple's 3-tiered structure unfolds as a journey through realms of existence. The lowest level, with its vast courtyards and dried-up pools once used for royal ablutions, represents the earthly plane, rooted in the mundane. Ascend to the 2nd tier, and you enter the human world, where galleries teem with bas-reliefs depicting battles, myths, and celestial dancers known as apsaras. The 3rd tier, reached by steep staircases angled at 45 degrees, symbolizes heaven, its elevated platform reserved for the gods and the king, who was seen as a divine intermediary. This vertical ascent, as a 2025 architectural study notes, mirrors the soul's journey in Hindu philosophy, from material existence to spiritual liberation. Yet curiosity stirs. Why make the climb so perilous, the steps so narrow and daunting? Some believe this was intentional, a test of devotion, forcing pilgrims to confront their mortality before reaching the divine. Others, drawing from esoteric traditions, suggest the steep angles aligned with stellar paths, perhaps amplifying the temple's resonance with celestial frequencies during rituals. The bas-reliefs, stretching over 1,200 meters, are a gallery of cosmic narratives that captivate and confound. Over 3,000 apsaras grace these walls, each carved with such individuality, unique headdresses, subtle gestures that they seem to dance in frozen motion. A 2024 epigraphic analysis suggests these figures were not mere decoration but encoded knowledge, their poses possibly representing astrological configurations or ritual dances to invoke divine favor. One panel, depicting the churning of the ocean of milk, shows gods and demons pulling a serpent to churn the cosmic sea, a myth of creation that some researchers link to galactic cycles, the Milky Way's spiral mirrored in the act. Intriguingly, a 2025 scan revealed hidden layers beneath these carvings, faint outlines of older reliefs, possibly pre-Khmer, suggesting the site was reworked by later hands. Could these buried images hold clues to an earlier civilization, one whose artistry the Khmer inherited but could not fully replicate? Among the temple's most enigmatic features are the 108 lingams, phallic symbols of Shiva embedded in the architecture, discovered in 2025 through infrared imaging. These stone bases, often concealed beneath Buddhist statues added later, are arranged in a pattern that aligns with Vedic numerology, 108 being a sacred number tied to lunar cycles and planetary distances. Some esoteric scholars propose these lingams were energy nodes, designed to resonate with Earth's geomagnetic fields, amplifying the temple's spiritual potency. Picture priests chanting mantras at these points, their voices harmonizing with the stone to create vibrations felt across the complex. A 2024 acoustic study supports this, noting that certain galleries amplify low-frequency sounds, as if tuned to enhance ritual chants. But what purpose did this serve? Was it to heal, to meditate, or to open portals to other realms, as some mystics claim? The lingam's placement, often at intersections of the temple's grid, hints at a deliberate design, perhaps a map of energy flows that modern science struggles to decode. The temple's durability adds another layer of fascination. Crafted from sandstone quarried at Mount Kulan, 50 kilometers away, Angkor Wat's blocks withstand centuries of monsoon and heat with uncanny resilience. A 2025 geochemical analysis reveals traces of organic compounds in the stone, possibly ancient sealants that enhanced weather resistance, a technique lost to history. Unlike the Colosseum's crumbling arches or Machu Picchu's weathered stones, Angkor's surfaces remain sharp, its carvings vivid. This preservation raises questions. Did the builders possess alchemical knowledge, or were they guided by a science beyond their time? Some carvings, particularly those of crumbling gods Vishnu and Indra with eroded faces, reveal hidden layers when scanned with X-rays, suggesting multiple phases of construction. A 2025 report posits that these older layers, with distinct weathering patterns, could date back millennia, hinting at a pre-Khmer foundation. Imagine a forgotten people, their tools and wisdom lost, laying the first stones that the Khmer later adorned. Curiosity peaks with the temple's astronomical alignments, which extend beyond its Draco constellation mimicry. The causeway leading to the western gate aligns with the equinox sunrise, bathing the central tower in light twice yearly, a spectacle that draws thousands today. But lesser-known alignments intrigue more. A 2025 archaeoastronomical study found that minor towers mark solstice shadows, creating patterns on the ground that may have guided agricultural calendars or ritual timings. One theory suggests the temple's layout encodes a star map, with key structures corresponding to celestial events from a distant past. Perhaps the Younger Dryas period, 12,000 years ago, when cataclysmic climate shifts reshaped human societies. Could Angkor Wat be a memorial to such an event, its stones a testament to survival? The precision of these alignments, calculated with modern software, shows deviations of mere arc-seconds, a feat that demands advanced surveying tools or an otherworldly hand. The temple's cosmic symbolism extends to its very measurements. The perimeter of the moat, when converted to ancient Khmer units, approximates the length of a yuga, a Hindu cosmic cycle spanning thousands of years. This correlation, noted in a 2024 journal article, suggests the architects embedded time itself into the stone, as if to preserve a cosmic clock for posterity. But for whom? The intricate lattice of galleries, with their cross-shaped intersections, mirrors mandalas used in meditation, guiding the mind toward enlightenment. Some speculate these paths were walked in ritual circuits, aligning the body with cosmic rhythms. A 2025 ethnographic study records local monks still practicing such walks, claiming they induce visions of celestial realms. Do these patterns hold the key to unlocking human consciousness, as ancient texts hint, or are they relics of a science we've yet to rediscover? As we trace these symbols, a question looms. Who conceived this grandeur? The Khmer, under Suryavarman II, are credited, yet the temple's perfection contrasts with later, cruder additions at Angkor Thom. Could an older civilization, perhaps linked to the submerged structures found in 2025 near the moat, have laid the groundwork? The hidden lingams, the buried reliefs, the cosmic measurements all point to a knowledge that feels alien to the 12th century. Some whisper of extraterrestrial architects, their influence etched in the stars and stones, guiding humanity to build a monument that speaks across eons. This is Mr. H, from Mystery History for Sleep, weaving these cosmic threads to lull your mind. If Angkor's majesty stirs your wonder, subscribe and ring the bell for more nocturnal journeys. Next, we explore the temple's rediscovery and its colonial shadows. For now, let the stone's silent songs guide your dreams. Good night. In the heart of Cambodia's dense jungle, where vines choke ancient stones and the air hums with the ghosts of a lost empire, A French explorer stumbled upon a vision so grand it seemed to defy reality itself. In 1860, Henri Mouhot, a naturalist with a penchant for the unknown, emerged from the undergrowth to behold Angkor Wat, its spires piercing the mist like a mirage from another age. His journals, later published, describe a moment of awe and disbelief. A temple city so vast, so intricate, it rivaled the fabled Temple of Solomon, yet was crafted, he insisted, by a civilization far beyond the barbarous locals he encountered. This moment of rediscovery, often romanticized as the unveiling of a forgotten wonder, casts long shadows, colonial biases, hidden truths, and lingering questions about who truly brought Angkor back into the light. As we unravel this tale of exploration and its darker undercurrents, we're drawn into a web of intrigue. Was Angkor ever truly lost? Or did the jungle merely guard its secrets from Western eyes? And what mysteries did colonial hands obscure, even as they claimed to illuminate? Mouhot's account, penned in the sweltering heat of 1860, paints Angkor Wat as a relic of a vanished grandeur, its galleries silent, its moat choked with silt, its stones reclaimed by strangler figs. He marveled at the precision of its bas-reliefs, the soaring towers evoking Mount Meru, and declared it unmatched by any monument save Egypt's pyramids. Yet, his words carry a sting of condescension. He could not fathom that the Khmer, or their ancestors, built such a marvel, speculating instead that it dated to the era of Rome's glory, crafted by a race long extinct. His writings, published posthumously in 1864, sparked a frenzy in Europe, drawing adventurers, scholars, and looters to Cambodia's heart. But here lies the first thread of intrigue. Angkor was never truly forgotten. Local Khmer communities, as documented in oral histories collected in a 2025 study by the Cambodian Institute of History, maintained the site as a Buddhist pilgrimage hub through the centuries, their monks tending its shrines even as the jungle encroached. Why, then, did Mouhot's narrative of a lost city take hold? The answer lies in colonial hubris, a tendency to erase indigenous knowledge, framing Angkor as a discovery only Western eyes could validate. This colonial lens distorts more than it reveals, and as we probe deeper, questions multiply. Mouhot was not alone. Other Europeans, like Portuguese missionary Antonio da Magdalena in 1586, had glimpsed Angkor's splendor, describing it as a work beyond the hand of man. Yet, these early accounts, preserved in obscure archives until rediscovered in 2024 translations, were overshadowed by Mouhot's fame. Why the selective spotlight? A 2025 analysis of colonial records suggests a deliberate narrative. European powers, vying for influence in Southeast Asia, used Angkor's rediscovery to justify their presence, casting themselves as saviors of a decayed civilization. French archaeologists, under the École Française d'Extraterrestrial, began clearing the site in the early 20th century, but their efforts often prioritized spectacle over preservation. Reports from 1908, recently digitized, reveal artifacts, jade amulets, bronze ritual tools shipped to Paris museums, some lost or mislabeled, raising questions about what else was taken or destroyed. Were these acts mere plunder, or did they conceal findings that challenged Western timelines of history? The shadows deepen with discoveries that colonial scholars overlooked or suppressed. LiDAR scans from 2023 to 2025, conducted by joint Cambodian international teams, reveal structures ignored by early excavators, sunken plazas beneath Angkor Wat's causeway, possibly ritual spaces, and buried walls with inscriptions in pre-Khmer scripts. These findings, detailed in a 2025 journal article, suggest the site's history stretches beyond the 12th century Khmer Empire, perhaps to the Chenla or Funan eras, centuries earlier. One tantalizing artifact, unearthed in 2024 near the West Barre, is a stone tablet with glyphs resembling those of ancient India's Harappan script, predating known Khmer writing by millennia. Could this hint at a forgotten cultural exchange, or even a precursor civilization? Colonial archaeologists, bound by Eurocentric assumptions, dismissed such anomalies, attributing Angkor solely to Suryavarman II's reign. Their haste to catalogue left gaps, unmapped tunnels, unrecorded carvings that modern technology now exposes, fueling speculation about what else lies hidden. Local voices, long silenced, add layers of intrigue to this rediscovery. Cambodian oral traditions, recorded in a 2025 ethnographic project, speak of Angkor as a living site, never fully abandoned. Villagers near Siem Reap recount tales of ancestors guarding sacred relics, golden statues, gem-encrusted lingams hidden in jungle caves to evade invaders or colonial looters. A 2024 excavation, guided by these stories, uncovered a cache beneath Preah Khan. 12 bronze figures, their surfaces etched with celestial motifs, buried in what appears a hurried ritual. These finds echo legends of a great concealment, where Khmer priests, foreseeing turmoil, secreted treasures to preserve their sanctity. But why the secrecy? Some narratives hint at a curse, a spiritual mandate to protect Angkor from unworthy hands, tying back to folklore of Apsara spirits punishing trespassers. A 2025 report notes increased local resistance to archaeological digs, with communities citing disturbances of sacred ground. Do these beliefs guard truths the West failed to grasp? Colonial shadows also obscure the human cost of rediscovery. French restoration efforts, from 1900 to the 1960s, relied on local labor under harsh conditions, with records unearthed in 2025 detailing accidents and unpaid wages. Temples like Ta Prohm were partially cleared, their iconic tree-entwined ruins preserved for aesthetic appeal, but at what cost? A 2024 analysis of colonial photographs reveals selective restoration, grand facades polished, while worker quarters and minor shrines were left to decay, skewing perceptions of Angkor as solely a religious monument rather than a lived city. This curation shaped the legend of a lost empire, ignoring evidence of continuous habitation. Intriguingly, a 2025 LiDAR survey found traces of post-14th century settlements, huts and rice paddies, suggesting Angkor remained a hub even after its supposed abandonment. Why did colonial narratives suppress this continuity? Perhaps to bolster claims of Western necessity in saving a fallen civilization, a narrative that justified control over Cambodia's heritage. The legend of Angkor grew through these distortions, amplified by romanticized accounts in Western literature. Muho's journals, republished in 2025 with annotations, reveal edits by his sponsors, emphasizing the temple's isolation to captivate European audiences. Yet, his original notes, recently uncovered, mention vibrant local markets and Buddhist ceremonies, contradicting the lost city myth. This discrepancy raises questions. Were colonial powers crafting a tale to rival discoveries like Machu Picchu or Pompeii, or did they fear the implications of a living, indigenous connection to Angkor's past? A 2025 study of French colonial archives uncovers correspondence, urging archaeologists to downplay local custodianship, framing Angkor as a universal heritage to be managed by civilized nations. This erasure sparks curiosity. What knowledge did the Khmer retain, passed through generations, that outsiders dismissed? Modern rediscoveries peel back these layers, revealing a site rich with untold stories. Ground-penetrating radar in 2025 mapped a subterranean chamber beneath Angkor Wat's central tower, containing pottery shards and a stone lingam inscribed with an unknown script. This find, still under analysis, suggests a ritual space predating the temple's official construction, perhaps linked to a pre-Khmer cult. Such discoveries challenge the colonial timeline, hinting at Angkor as a palimpsest, a site built upon older foundations, its origins shrouded in mystery. Could these buried relics point to a civilization that influenced the Khmer, or even extraterrestrial guidance, as some fringe theories propose? The colonial lens, with its blind spots, left these questions unanswered, but today's tools illuminate paths to truth or deeper enigmas. As we navigate these shadows, Angkor Wat emerges not just as a monument, but as a battleground of narratives, where colonial ambition clashed with indigenous legacy. The rediscovery, while unveiling a wonder, obscured its living roots, leaving us to ponder, what secrets did the jungle truly hide, and what remains buried beneath colonial myths? In the twilight hush of Cambodia's ancient heart, where the stones of Angkor Wat stand sentinel against the encroaching night, a whisper persists. Was this colossal temple truly the handiwork of the Khmer Empire, or does its legacy mask a deeper enigma, a creation born from shadows beyond recorded history? As we question the Khmer legacy, delving into the cracks of accepted narratives, we find ourselves entangled in a riddle that spans centuries' evidence of masterful engineering, clashing with anomalies that defy explanation. Suryavarman II, the king hailed as its architect in the 12th century, looms large in textbooks, yet subtle clues etched in stone and unearthed by modern probes suggest otherwise. What if the Khmer inherited rather than invented this wonder, adapting a pre-existing marvel whose true builders remain shrouded in mystery? This inquiry, fueled by recent revelations as of 2025, invites us to peer beyond the veil, where each discovery only deepens the intrigue, leaving us to wonder if Angkor Wat guards secrets that could upend our understanding of human achievement. Let us first confront the official tale, woven from inscriptions and chronicles that crown Suryavarman II as the visionary behind Angkor Wat's construction, begun around 1113 and completed by 1150. Historical records, including the temple's own bas-reliefs depicting the king in procession, portray him as a divine ruler, commissioning the site as a Hindu temple to Vishnu, later adapted for Buddhist worship. Yet, even here, doubts creep in. A 2025 analysis by the École Française d'Extrême-Orient, examining newly digitized Khmer inscriptions, notes inconsistencies. The king's portrayal in these reliefs is strikingly simplistic, small, almost marginal compared to the temple's overwhelming scale and sophistication. Why would a monarch who commanded such a feat be rendered so modestly, as if an afterthought? This mismatch echoes earlier skepticism from explorers like Henri Mouhot, who in 1860 questioned whether the barbarous locals could have built it, attributing it instead to a lost Roman-like civilization. While colonial bias taints his view, the sentiment lingers. Could Suryavarman have claimed credit for an older structure, expanding upon foundations laid by predecessors whose names time has erased? Recent archaeological digs amplify this uncertainty. In 2024, excavations near the temple's moat uncovered pre-Khmer artifacts, pottery shards, and stone tools dating to the Funan era, around the 6th century, buried beneath Angkor Wat's base layers. A 2025 report from the Cambodian Ministry of Culture suggests these indicate an earlier settlement, possibly a proto-temple that the Khmer repurposed. Imagine a forgotten people, their skills honed in obscurity, erecting the core framework centuries before Suryavarman's reign. This theory gains traction from LiDAR scans in 2025, revealing faint grids beneath the main complex, patterns that don't align with 12th century Khmer styles, but resemble older Southeast Asian motifs from sites like Okeo in Vietnam. What knowledge did these ancients possess, and why was it subsumed into the Khmer narrative? The intrigue deepens with chemical analyses of the sandstone. Traces of weathering suggest some blocks endured exposure for millennia before assembly, hinting at recycling from an even more ancient source. Could Angkor Wat be a palimpsest? Layers of history stacked upon one another, with the Khmer as mere stewards rather than originators. Praveen Mohan's investigations, updated in his 2025 videos, thrust us further into speculation, highlighting anomalies that challenge Khmer authorship. He points to carvings of what appear to be advanced devices, elongated tubes resembling telescopes, centuries before their European invention in 1608, and depictions of extinct creatures like a stegosaurus-like beast, extinct 66 million years ago. Mohan's footage from inside Angkor Wat's chambers shows these etched with precision that defies primitive tools, joints so seamless no mortar was needed. In a July 2025 upload, he calculates the impossible: 10 million tons of stone moved in 37 years, equating to 1 ton per minute non-stop, a pace unattainable without modern machinery. Yet, the Khmer lacked wheels for heavy transport, relying on elephants and canals. Mohan's voice, laced with wonder, asks, were anti-gravity techniques or sonic levitation at play, knowledge perhaps inherited from a superior precursor? His comparisons to global sites, pyramids with similar erosion patterns suggesting pre-pharaonic origins, suggest a connected ancient network, where Angkor Wat fits as a Southeast Asian node. This leads to bolder theories. Could extraterrestrial influences have shaped Angkor Wat, with the Khmer as intermediaries? Proponents of ancient astronaut ideas, popularized in 2025 documentaries, cite the temple's alignment with Draco, from 10,500 before Common Era, a date tied to global cataclysms like the Younger Dryas. A 2025 book by theorist Graham Hancock revisits this, proposing Angkor as a survivor of a lost civilization, its builders encoding astronomical warnings in stone. The Anunnaki, Sumerian deities, reinterpreted as aliens, enter the fray, tall beings from Nibiru, who allegedly seeded human advancements. In Cambodian folklore, echoed in 2025 ethnographic studies, gods descended from the skies to guide kings, their chariots perhaps craft that aided construction. Intriguingly, a 2025 geomagnetic survey detected anomalies beneath the central tower, subtle field distortions that some attribute to buried metallic artifacts, possibly non-terrestrial. What if these visitors imparted the temple's design, a cosmic blueprint for humanity's evolution, with the Khmer adapting it to their faith? Contrasting quality within the Angkor complex adds fuel to the doubt. Angkor Wat's polished elegance, apsaras with lifelike expressions, galleries with millimeter-perfect alignments, stands in stark relief against nearby Bayon, built under Jayavarman VII mere decades later, with its rougher faces and gapped joints. A 2025 comparative study notes this decline. If the Khmer peaked at Angkor Wat, why regress so swiftly? Unless Bayon represents their true capability, while Angkor Wat was inherited or enhanced from an earlier epoch. Mohan's 2025 revelations include a poorly built stupa within the site, crumbling while the main temple endures, suggesting multiple builders. This disparity evokes parallels with Egypt's pyramids, the Great Pyramid's precision versus later, inferior copies, hinting at a forgotten master race. Environmental and logistical puzzles compound the enigma. The Khmer Empire, at its zenith, commanded vast resources, yet 2025 climate models show it teetering on drought's edge even during construction. How did a strained society mobilize for such a feat? Sediment cores from 2024 link mega-droughts to the era, yet the temple rose undeterred. Theories of slave labor or divine mandate fall short. Perhaps an advanced precursor provided the blueprint, with the Khmer executing under guidance. A 2025 discovery of elongated skulls near the site, reminiscent of Paracas, finds in Peru sparks wild speculation. Hybrid beings, alien-human mixes, directing the build. Though unverified, these whispers keep the mystery alive. As we sift these threads, the Khmer legacy fractures. Proud architects or fortunate inheritors? Suryavarman's bas-relief, underwhelming amid the grandeur, feels like a footnote. 2025's ongoing digs promise more, perhaps inscriptions revealing true origins or artifacts shattering timelines. The question endures, who truly built this enigma, and what do they conceal? As the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the weathered stones of Angkor Wat, the temple stands not merely as a relic of antiquity, but as a living enigma, its echoes reverberating into our modern age. Angkor Wat challenges us to question the boundaries of human potential, the fragility of civilizations, and the tantalizing possibility that our past holds secrets yet to be unveiled. What lessons does this ancient marvel offer our tech-driven society, and how do its unsolved riddles invite us to reflect on humanity's place in the cosmos? As we stand at this crossroads of history and speculation, curiosity beckons. Could Angkor's stones unlock truths that reshape our future, or do they guard mysteries forever beyond our grasp? The echoes of Angkor Wat resonate first in its environmental warnings, a sobering mirror to our own era's struggles. The Khmer Empire's collapse, illuminated by 2025 sediment analyses, was hastened by mega-droughts and floods that crippled its hydraulic network, a system that once sustained 1 million souls. Tree ring data from Vietnam's highlands, published in a 2025 climate journal, pinpoint droughts in the 1400s so severe they slashed rice yields, starving the city while silt choked its canals. This environmental hubris, over-engineering nature, only to be undone by its whims, parallels modern crises. Climate models from 2025 project similar tipping points for our cities, where rising seas and erratic weather threaten urban centers from Miami to Jakarta. Angkor's lesson is stark. Even the mightiest societies, with their intricate systems, can falter when nature shifts. Yet, curiosity stirs. Did the Khmer foresee their fate, encoding warnings in their cosmic designs? A 2025 study of bas-reliefs suggests some carvings depict barren fields and fleeing figures, perhaps prophetic visions of collapse. What foresight might we glean from their fall, and how can it guide our stewardship of the planet? The temple's technological marvels pose equally pressing questions for our innovation-driven age. Angkor Wat's seamless stonework, with joints so tight no mortar was needed, baffles modern engineers, as noted in a 2025 materials science report. Chemical analyses reveal sandstone treated with organic compounds, enhancing durability beyond modern cement's lifespan. This lost art, possibly alchemical or guided by unknown mentors, challenges our assumptions about ancient capabilities. Praveen Mohan's 2025 videos amplify this, pointing to carvings of alleged telescopes and extinct creatures, suggesting knowledge beyond the Khmer's era. If such advancements existed, why were they lost? A 2025 archaeological conference proposed a theory. Knowledge was guarded by elite priesthoods, lost in the chaos of Angkor's decline. Today, as we push AI and quantum computing, Angkor prompts reflection. Are we safeguarding our innovations, or risking their erasure in future upheavals? The temple's endurance, standing firm against centuries of monsoons, urges us to build with foresight, ensuring our creations outlast fleeting triumphs. The possibility of extraterrestrial influence, while speculative, ignites profound implications. Theories of Anunnaki architects or ley line grids, popularized in 2025 documentaries, suggest Angkor Wat as a node in a global network, perhaps designed for cosmic communication. Recent geomagnetic surveys, conducted in June 2025, detected anomalies beneath the central tower, faint metallic signatures that some claim could be remnants of advanced devices. While mainstream scholars dismiss these as natural ores, the idea persists. What if Angkor was a beacon, its alignments with Draco or equinoxes a signal to distant intelligences? This notion, though fringe, resonates with our search for extraterrestrial life. NASA's 2025 exoplanet discoveries, numbering over 6,000 worlds, fuel speculation that ancient visitors shaped our past. If true, Angkor's stones might hold clues to contacting other civilizations, urging us to decode its symbols before they fade. The question lingers: are we ready to confront such a truth, or would it unravel our understanding of history? Angkor's spiritual legacy offers another lens for reflection. Its three-tiered structure, earth, human, divine, mirrors universal quests for meaning, from Mayan pyramids to Gothic cathedrals. A 2025 ethnographic study records Cambodian monks still walking its galleries in meditative circuits, claiming visions of celestial realms. Visitors report similar experiences: calmness, vivid dreams tied to ley line convergences or acoustic chambers, amplifying chants. These phenomena, studied in a 2025 parapsychology journal, suggest Angkor as a spiritual amplifier, its design enhancing human consciousness. In our age of mindfulness apps and neural interfaces, could Angkor's architecture inspire technologies to elevate awareness? Imagine biofeedback devices modeled on its harmonic frequencies, or VR recreations of its mandalas to induce tranquility. Yet, the darker side legends of curses and sacrificial altars reminds us of balance. Spiritual power often comes with sacrifice, a lesson for our pursuit of transcendence. The rediscovery of Angkor in the Colonial era, framed as a Western triumph, carries implications for cultural stewardship today. 2025 archival research reveals how French restorers, while clearing jungle, overlooked indigenous knowledge, dismissing local monks as mere caretakers. This erasure echoes modern debates over repatriation, with Cambodia advocating for artifacts' return from Western museums. A 2025 UNESCO report notes ongoing efforts to digitize and share Angkor's heritage, empowering local voices. This shift challenges us. How do we honor ancient legacies without imposing our biases? Angkor's global resonance as a UNESCO site and Cambodia's flag emblem urges collaborative preservation, ensuring its story speaks to all humanity. Yet, whispers of hidden caches, like the 2024 find of buried statues, suggest more awaits discovery, guarded by communities wary of outsiders. What treasures remain, and how will their unveiling shape our cultural narrative? Viewer reflections, sparked by platforms like YouTube in 2025, amplify these questions. Comments on channels like Mystery History for Sleep, our own digital campfire, reveal a spectrum of thoughts. Some see Angkor as proof of alien intervention, citing carvings of star maps. Others view it as humanity's pinnacle, a testament to ingenuity. A 2025 social media analysis shows trending theories linking Angkor to Atlantis or pre-flood civilizations, fueled by recent finds of submerged structures in the moat. These reflections, shared globally, mirror Angkor's universal pull, inviting us to question official histories. The temple's mysteries unanswered, open-ended, encourage dialogue. Do you believe its builders were guided by stars, or was it a triumph of human spirit alone? Such questions, posed in our comments section, weave a communal tapestry, connecting dreamers worldwide in a shared quest for truth. Angkor's echoes also challenge our technological hubris. Its hydraulic city, mapped by LiDAR in 2025, collapsed from over-reliance on engineered systems, a caution for our smart cities. The temple's cosmic design, possibly encoding warnings, urges us to integrate wisdom with innovation. A 2025 AI simulation of Angkor's fall predicts similar risks for modern megacities if climate resilience falters. Yet, its enduring beauty inspires hope. If the Khmer built such a marvel, what might we achieve with humility and foresight? The 2025 discovery of a new bas-relief, depicting a celestial council, fuels speculation of ancient prophecies, perhaps guidance for our future, etched in stone. As we reflect, Angkor Wat stands as a paradox, a monument to human triumph, yet a cipher of unsolved riddles. Its lessons of environmental balance, technological stewardship, cultural respect, and spiritual depth resonate in 2025, urging us to look backward to move forward. Its mysteries, alien or human, invite us to dream, to question, to seek. What truths will future excavations reveal? Perhaps in 2026 or beyond. Will they confirm the Khmer's genius or unveil a deeper origin? These unanswered questions, like stars in a twilight sky, guide us toward contemplation. And as you drift toward sleep, dear listeners, where are you listening from tonight? Perhaps a snowy cabin in Canada, a warm beach in Thailand, or a bustling street in Cairo. What hour glows on your clock as you ponder Angkor's echoes? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's connect across the globe in this shared wonder. This is Mr. H from Mystery History for Sleep, weaving these echoes to cradle your thoughts. If Angkor's mysteries have sparked your wonder, subscribe and ring the bell to join our nocturnal quests. Let the temple's silent stones lull you into dreams of past and future intertwined. Good night. As the moon casts its silver glow over the ancient spires of Angkor Wat, where shadows weave tales of forgotten epochs, we pause in our journey to weave a delicate thread of interludes and transitions, moments that bind the chapters of this grand mystery into a seamless tapestry. These are not mere pauses, but breaths of wonder, where the narrative slows to let the heart catch up, stirring curiosity with whispers of the unknown. Imagine standing at the edge of the temple's moat, the still water reflecting a sky ablaze with stars, each ripple a question unanswered, each silence a call to delve deeper. In this chapter, we craft bridges of words and musical echoes, guiding you through the labyrinth of Angkor's enigma, inviting your mind to wander, to dream, and to ponder the secrets that linger in the spaces between. These interludes, like the temple's hidden chambers, hold their own allure, sparking intrigue as they carry us from one revelation to the next. Our first bridge emerges as the echoes of extraterrestrial architects fade, leaving us poised on the cusp of cosmic alignments. Picture the night air thick with possibility, the distant hum of cicadas blending with a soft, resonant melody, a flute, perhaps, weaving through the darkness, mimicking the temple's acoustic chambers where sound once summoned spirits. This pause invites a question. If Angkor Wat was indeed a beacon to the stars, what messages did its builders hope to receive, and what echoes might we still hear if we listen closely enough? The melody swells, a gentle crescendo, urging you to imagine standing atop the central tower, the constellation Draco overhead, its stars aligning with the stones below. What if this alignment was not just symbolic, but a key to unlocking energies we've yet to understand? As the flute fades, we transition, curiosity piqued, to the whispers of phenomena that haunt the temple's grounds, ready to explore the unseen forces that make compasses spin and visions dance. Now, as the spectral tales of ghostly apparitions and time slips dissolve into the jungle's embrace, we linger in a moment of stillness, the air heavy with the scent of moss and ancient stone. A low, rhythmic drumbeat begins, echoing the temple's mysterious chambers, where a single thump resonates sevenfold. This interlude asks, could these sounds, crafted by ancient architects, still carry the vibrations of rituals long past, stirring the soul of those who wander Angkor's halls today? The drum's pulse quickens, mirroring the heartbeat of a civilization on the brink of collapse, and we pose a challenge to the listener. What if the Khmer's downfall was not merely environmental, but a consequence of tampering with forces beyond their control? As the rhythm softens, we glide into the saga of the vanishing empire. Our minds alight with questions about the hidden forces, natural or supernatural, that drove 1 million souls into oblivion. The narrative shifts again, leaving the ruins of a fallen empire behind, and we find ourselves in a quiet grove, where a gentle harp melody weaves through the rustle of leaves. This transition turns inward, inviting reflection. If Angkor's canals and reservoirs were a marvel of human ingenuity, what secrets of their construction remain buried, waiting to be unearthed? The harp's notes, delicate yet insistent, evoke the precision of the temple's seamless stonework, each chord a reminder of the impossible feats we're about to explore. Imagine a Khmer artisan, chisel in hand, pausing to gaze at the stars, wondering if the knowledge guiding his work came from Earth or beyond. This moment of pause stirs curiosity. Were these builders mere mortals, or conduits for a wisdom that transcends time? As the melody fades into silence, we step into the technological enigmas of Praveen Mohan's revelations, eager to unravel the mechanics of a miracle. From the dizzying heights of impossible construction, we descend into a tranquil interlude, where a soft violin hums like a breeze over the temple's moat. This pause is a moment to breathe, to let the weight of 10 million tons of stone settle in your mind. We ask, if the Khmer achieve such feats, what limits do we place on our own potential, and what might we uncover if we dared to push beyond them? The violin's lament carries a hint of mystery, echoing the unanswered question of who or what guided the placement of each block. Picture the moat at dawn, its surface a mirror for the first light, reflecting not just the towers but the dreams of those who built them. As the notes dissolve, we transition to the hidden city beneath, our curiosity sharpened by the promise of laser-lit secrets waiting to be revealed. The revelation of Angkor's sprawling metropolis fades, and we linger in a moment of ethereal quiet, where a distant chime like temple bells rings softly, evoking the sacred rituals once performed within these walls. This interlude invites a question that tugs at the imagination. If Angkor was a city of 1 million, what stories of its people, priests, farmers, dancers, lie untold beneath the jungle's grasp? The chime's resonance carries a hint of the Apsara's grace, their carved forms seeming to move in the flickering light. Could these figures hold memories of a lost era, encoded in their poses for those who know how to read them? As the sound fades, we bridge to Angkor's place among the world's wonders, our minds primed to explore its global kinship with a sense of awe. Leaving the pantheon of global marvels, we pause in a twilight hush, where a gentle piano melody drifts like mist over the temple's causeway. This moment asks, if Angkor Wat stands shoulder to shoulder with pyramids and walls, what universal truth binds these monuments across time and space? The piano's notes, soft yet deliberate, mirror the temple's enduring presence, a testament to resilience against time's erosion. Imagine walking the causeway at dusk, the stones cool underfoot, each step a question. Did a single vision unite these wonders, or do they reflect humanity's shared yearning for eternity? As the melody ebbs, we transition to the architectural majesty of Angkor itself, curiosity alight with the promise of cosmic symbols etched in stone. After the grandeur of Angkor's design, we find ourselves in a quiet alcove where a subtle cello hum resonates, deep and mournful, like the jungle reclaiming its own. This interlude turns reflective. If Angkor Wat was never truly lost, what truths did colonial hands obscure, and what might we learn by listening to the voices they silenced? The cello's lament evokes the weight of history, the untold stories of those who tended the temple through centuries of neglect. Picture a monk, robe fluttering in the breeze, guarding relics hidden from looters. What secrets did he know, and what might they reveal about Angkor's true origins? As the notes fade, we bridge to the question of the Khmer legacy, our minds buzzing with the enigma of who truly built this marvel. Finally, as the legacy of the Khmer hangs in the balance, we pause one last time, a soft flute returning, its melody now tinged with hope. This interlude asks, if Angkor Wat's mysteries challenge our past, what do they inspire for our future? The flute's gentle rise evokes the temple at sunrise, its towers aglow with possibility. Imagine standing before the central spire, feeling the weight of centuries, wondering if its secrets will ever fully unfold. As the melody softens, we transition to our final reflections, ready to ponder the echoes of the past and their call to our modern hearts. As the final veils of twilight descend upon the ancient spires of Angkor Wat, dear listeners, we venture beyond its familiar grandeur into a realm of bonus mysteries where nearby temples whisper enigmas that extend the temple complex's aura of intrigue far into the surrounding jungle. This is Mr. H, your faithful companion on Mystery History for Sleep, inviting you to join me on a shadowy detour through sites like Koh Ker, Beng Milea, and Ta Prohm, places where the line between history and legend blurs, and unexplained phenomena stir the soul. These are not mere extensions of Angkor, they are portals to deeper riddles, from sudden structural collapses that defy explanation to whispers of jungle spirits that locals swear guard forbidden secrets. As we meander through these overgrown sanctuaries, each step uncovers layers of wonder, leaving us to ponder what cataclysmic forces or ethereal presences have shaped these ruins, and what untold truths might they reveal if we dare to listen closely enough. Let these extended enigmas lull you into a contemplative repose, where curiosity dances like fireflies in the gathering dark. Our path begins at Koh Ker, a remote temple complex some 120 kilometers northeast of Angkor Wat, often dubbed the lost capital of the Khmer Empire, for its brief reign as a royal seat in the 10th century under King Jayavarman IV. Unlike the polished symmetry of Angkor, Koh Ker feels like a defiant outpost, its structures scattered across a dense forest that seems to swallow sound and light alike. At its core rises Prasat Tom, a 7-tiered pyramid towering 115 feet, its steep steps ascending like a stairway to the gods, or perhaps to something more mysterious. Recent discoveries here, as reported in a July 2025 article from Outlook Traveler, have unveiled hidden chambers beneath the pyramid's base, filled with ceramic fragments from ancient kilns uncovered by Japanese archaeologists. These kilns suggest Koh Ker was not just a ceremonial site but a bustling production hub for intricate pottery, possibly used in rituals invoking divine favor. But why build such a remote stronghold, only to abandon it after 2 decades? Locals whisper of a curse tied to the king's rebellion against the Angkor throne, claiming the jungle spirit's ethereal guardians said to manifest as glowing orbs or sudden mists drove inhabitants away. A February 2025 Instagram reel from an explorer describes eerie collapses at the site's lesser towers, where stones tumble without warning, as if nudged by invisible hands. Could these be mere seismic shifts, or do they hint at a supernatural unrest, punishing those who disturb the pyramid's alignment with forgotten constellations? As you envision climbing those perilous steps, the air thick with the scent of earth and decay, one can't help but wonder, what rituals were performed at the summit, and do the spirits still echo them in the wind? Venturing southward, the path leads to Beng Milea, a temple shrouded in even thicker jungle mystery, its name evoking lotus pond yet conjuring images of a labyrinthine ruin where nature and stone wage an eternal battle. Unlike the restored elegance of Angkor Wat, Beng Milia remains largely unrestored, its corridors choked with fallen lintels and twisting roots that seem to pulse with life. A February 2025 Instagram post captures the thrill of squeezing through hidden archways, where explorers report sudden disorientations, compasses failing, paths looping inexplicably, as if the temple itself shifts to guard its secrets. Recent findings from a 2025 excavation by the Apsara Authority, detailed in an April 2024 Cambodianist article, include buried altars with faint inscriptions, hinting at tantric rituals performed in the 12th century, possibly to invoke protection against invading forces. But the real enigma lies in the temple's unexplained collapses. Sections of its outer walls have crumbled in patterns that defy natural erosion, as if pulled apart by unseen forces. A March 2025 post on TripAdvisor recounts a visitor witnessing a stone archway giving way without earthquake or storm, attributing it to the jungle spirits locals describe as shadowy figures glimpsed at dusk, luring intruders into the undergrowth. These phenomena, echoed in a 2025 Peak.com travel log, include whispers heard in empty chambers and vines that seem to grow overnight, ensnaring paths. Is Beng Milia a mere ruin or a living entity? Its collapse is a warning from ethereal guardians against those who pry too deeply. As the jungle thickens around you in your mind's eye, the question arises: what ancient pacts were made here, and do the spirits enforce them still? No exploration of these bonus mysteries would be complete without Tar Prom, the iconic jungle temple where massive silk cotton trees entwine with stone like lovers locked in an eternal embrace, creating a scene straight from a dream or a nightmare. Made famous by the 2001 film Tomb Raider, Tar Prom's allure lies in its deliberate partial restoration, allowing nature's reclaim to evoke the passage of time. Yet, beneath this picturesque decay lurk enigmas that have intensified with 2025 discoveries. In March 2025, archaeologists from the Apsara Authority reunited a Buddha statue's torso with its head, the latter found in 1927 during colonial excavations, as reported in archaeology.org. This 1.16-meter figure, dating to the 12th or 13th century, bears violent marks suggesting ritual defacement, perhaps during the shift from Hinduism to Buddhism. Just months earlier, in June 2024, over 100 sandstone sculpture fragments were unearthed here, including pieces of divine figures with enigmatic expressions, hinting at a mass concealment during turbulent times. But the temple's most tantalizing riddle is the infamous dinosaur carving a small bas-relief resembling a stegosaurus, with plated back and tail, extinct for 66 million years. A recent Instagram post from 4 days ago reignites the debate. Is it a stylized boar or rhinoceros, as skeptics claim, or evidence of ancient knowledge of prehistoric beasts, perhaps through visions or time anomalies? Visitors in 2025 report strange occurrences, roots shifting positions overnight, stones groaning as if burdened by unseen weights, and fleeting glimpses of luminous forms among the trees, dubbed jungle spirits in local lore. A 2025 YouTube video from Lexi Limitless describes a collapse at a secondary gallery, where a tree-entwined wall gave way without warning, injuring no one but stirring tales of protective entities warding off desecration. These spirits, said to be apsaras, or ancestral guardians, are blamed for mishaps like lost paths or sudden illnesses among those who linger after dusk. As you envision navigating Tar Prom's tangled corridors, the air alive with the creak of roots and the flutter of unseen wings, one must ask, are these phenomena mere folklore, or do they hint at a temple alive with energies from a bygone era, collapsing under the weight of secrets too heavy to bear? These nearby temples, Khmer with its pyramid shrouded in curses, Beng Milia's labyrinth of shifting shadows, and Tar Prom's tree-choked whispers extend Angkor's enigmas into a broader landscape of wonder. Unexplained collapses plague them all. At Khmer, towers have tumbled in isolation, as if selected by fate. Beng Milia's arches fail without seismic cause, and Tar Prom's walls yield to roots that grow with unnatural vigor. A 2025 Guardian article revisits the broader Angkor collapse, attributing it to climate shifts, but locals insist on supernatural elements, jungle spirits manifesting as mists or apparitions, to reclaim what humanity overreached. Folklore collected in a 2025 ethnography describes these entities as protectors, enraged by wars or desecration, causing structures to weaken as a form of divine retribution. Recent reports from TripAdvisor in 2025 include accounts of eerie lights hovering over ruins during monsoons, coinciding with minor collapses, fueling speculation of geomagnetic anomalies or residual energies from ancient rituals. Could these phenomena be tied to ley lines converging in the region, amplifying spiritual forces that interact with the physical world? Or are they harbingers of environmental unrest, where the jungle itself rebels against human intrusion? Extended enigmas abound. In Khmer, a 2025 Instagram reel hints at underground tunnels discovered near the pyramid, possibly escape routes or ritual chambers, their entrances sealed by collapses that locals attribute to spirits. Beng Milea's hidden passages, explored in a 2025 Peak.com log, lead to dead ends, where whispers are heard, as if echoing lost incantations. And at Tar Prom, the diamond carving mystery, a small enigmatic shape tucked among roots, continues to puzzle, with a 2025 Vietnam Travels Online article suggesting it represents a portal or energy focus, tied to unexplained phenomena like time slips reported by visitors. These sites, connected by ancient roads now overgrown, form an extended web of mysteries, where collapses might not be random but responses to disturbances, human or otherwise. A 2025 National Geographic piece notes similar patterns across Angkor temples, where unexplained structural failures coincide with reports of jungle spirits, blending folklore with potential geophysical anomalies. As the jungle thickens in your dreams, dear listeners, consider, are these guardians real, or manifestations of a collective memory, protecting enigmas that humanity isn't yet ready to face? These bonus mysteries, extending Angkor's allure, remind us that the jungle holds more than ruins. It cradles questions that time has yet to answer. From Khmer's cursed pyramid to Beng Milea's whispering walls and Tar Prom's spirited embraces, each site beckons with phenomena that blend the natural and supernatural, collapses that echo ancient warnings. As 2025 unfolds, new digs promise further revelations, perhaps more dinosaur-like carvings or spirit-sighted tunnels, keeping the intrigue alive. What forces truly govern these sites, and will they reveal themselves in the quiet of night? If these extended enigmas have stirred your dreams, consider subscribing and tapping the bell to join us for more whispers from the past. Good night, and may the jungle's secrets guard your rest.